What up, y'all? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Oh, brother. Oh, Shay Shay. Oh, Shay Shay. What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo You Know, and today we got a couple of topics we need to go over. First, we're going to start off with the Shannon Sharpe allegations. They're looking for $50 million in the payout for some SA and some RAPE. Also, we're going to be talking about the Karmelo Anthony case and the self-defense and what they have so far, because there's a lot of stuff going around, and I haven't really looked into the case besides knowing that there was a stabbing. Pete Hegseth will probably get into a little bit of political stuff, you know what I mean? Because we just got to catch up with that. We really haven't heard too much about the tariffs. Just, it's a war going on outside and ain't nobody safe. So order what you can and get what you can. Well, we'll start with these allegations. Oh, Shay Sharpe. We just had allegations I want to say last winter. Well, yeah, this winter that just passed with his old co-host, Skip Bayless. Now we got O'Shea Shay. Man, it's a wild time, man. This is why I just stay in the house, stay to myself, because you don't want to get caught up in none of this nonsense. Now, I ain't got 50M, so I think as far as the money grab goes, I'm just 1,000 there. You ain't gonna get much out of me. But I don't participate in any of this, and everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So we'll just go over what this says, because she did file as a Jane Doe, so we don't know who it is. She said they've been involved for a couple of years, and we'll just go through that and see if there's anything we can follow from there. Jump into the Karmelo Anthony case, and you know how we do. Just a deep dive. You know what I mean? as I said, I'm not vouching for anybody as a human being. I'm just due process. That's really what we're looking forward to in America here. So now this is a civil case. So they're just looking for money, no criminal action. I think in situations like this, it should have to be criminal before civil, but this is the way our society is set up, thanks to the Constitution and everything. So, we got to follow by the law. So, innocent until proven guilty. If he settles, then he settles. But we're going to see what ESPN does because we've seen other people get suspended for lesser things. Shannon Sharpe also. Well, let me get into the article and then we'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about all of that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. But we're going to jump into the Shannon Sharpe article here over on TMZ. They're the first people to break it. Well, TMZ is always the first people to break it. I want to know how much is TMZ paying for a story? This one here, they just got people working the courthouse. So anytime anything is found, and I'm pretty sure Tony Busby, the guy that was also going against Diddy, going against Jay-Z, we know he's been a cash grab type of lawyer. They call him an ambulance chaser. But we'll jump into this article and we'll see what TMZ has to say, and we'll just follow it from there. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is the Mo You Know. Yeah, Michael Irvin had his 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, the Super Bowl, where they suspended him because they said that he grabbed the lady, but she actually grabbed his arm. So he's suing them and the hotel. We'll see where that goes. O'Shea Sharp, you're up first. Yeah, let's see what we got. Later date. Go. All right, O'Shea Shay. All right. We're in for a treat today. Give me a second. All right, let's get it. Shannon Sharpe sued for $50 million over alleged R word. And this article came out today. O'Shea Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has just been sued for allegedly R-ing a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada, so last night, after she says Sharpe brutally actually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Now, we're only in the April, so that means within 4 months was the last incident following a years-long abusive relationship. Now, we do know last year, early this year, I can't type. This year, we know that Shannon Sharpe accidentally had an Instagram live go live. Now, I don't know how you do that. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm gonna accidentally go Instagram live right now. Click Instagram. Click Instagram. All right. Click the button at the bottom. Click go live. And then before I go live, all right, is it gonna go live? It's still counting down at 1. All right, we are now live. Okay, so it takes that long for me to accidentally go live. Now, that happened earlier this year with a woman by the name of Michelle. And if this is lining up with that, it looks like she's saying what happened on that IG live wasn't an accident. It was Shannon acting a damn fool, which we didn't see any blowback from it. So ESPN is very powerful, controlled by Disney. So maybe they just kept that on hush hush. But going live doing that, there's no accident to it. There's no way you can accidentally bump into your Instagram live and go live. None of that. So just putting her on there right there, that was already illegal broadcasting that. But they're saying this is from early 2025 and late 2024 over a years long abusive relationship. So it could be Michelle. That's the alleged woman that was on the IG live. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid 50s. I mean, she's legal. At least he ain't got no underage allegations. When she was 20 years old and he was 50, in his mid 50s, she stated that in the docs during the first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake breastises if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit, Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. All right, let's see. Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe 2023 weight loss competition. Of course, we're only going to get more. Anytime custom range. We're just going to look from 2023 to we'll just do 2023 till then. Come on, man. It's supposed to short stuff out for us. All right. This is 2023. Well, I'm gonna be looking in the background to try to find out a weight loss competition. So he said he would buy her fake breast if she won a weight loss competition. She wrote that he proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to the Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated that she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. Now, Skip, he demanded complete control over her time and body, attorney Tony Busby wrote in the Doe suit, expected her to be at his house on schedule, at his command whenever he called. Doe claimed that there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. So she's saying one day he yelled and she was scared because there was a gun visible in the room. The plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, the doc state. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing kill you." The two, nevertheless, continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. Even following a move by both to Nevada in 2024. Shannon Sharpe, Nevada, 2024. Okay, we're gonna have to find something. So 2024, we got a Nevada trip. What happened in 2024? Did Shannon Sharpe go to 2024? Shannon Sharpe. Hmm. 2024. What else happened in 2024? The Pro Bowl. Shannon Sharpe, 2024. All right, so we got a couple of things to go off of. 2024, move to Nevada. Then we have a 2023 weight loss competition. So we're gonna be looking for those in the up and coming weeks. Um, Even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after an infamous Instagram live streaming incidents, which she said led to him R-ing her. So it is Michelle. Whoever was on the Instagram live is the one that's doing this. Now, do I don't believe anything here. I'm just gonna wait for the evidence to come out. But just him having her on Instagram live is already holding him liable. So regardless if he R words her or did anything else, just having her on Instagram live, she could sue for that. So they got a case. If we're just being honest, that's what I'm saying. If you remove everything else, let's say nothing else happened, just him putting her on Instagram live doing actual intercourse, they got a case. Just from going Instagram live, they got a case. And with his net worth, you can ask for as much as you want. And remember, whenever you sue, you always ask for top dollar and you work down, because you ask for 50 million. If we get 10, 10 is better than none. Well, there we go. So, regardless to the rest of the case, just being on Instagram live, that's enough. Was she on? Did she volunteer to be on Instagram live? Nope. That can go with the R word. You're doing something against their will. They didn't want to be on IG live, regardless of somebody's song. So technically, legally, they got a case. There's nothing we can do here. Shannon Sharpe he got on his nightcap and admitted that was him. He said, all I know is my phone was going off. Man. I just kept going. And remember, he was talking her through it. All of this, I didn't want to be on there. He was telling me what I needed to do. There's the case right there. Well, it isn't hard to believe now. Just knowing what we know, yep. Whether she wanted it was consensual or not, I doubt that she said that they could be on IG Live. Damn, damn, damn. Yeah. All right. Well, there's no longer do I believe the case. IG Live, that's stupid. You're 50 something, 55 years old, man. All right, so it says, however, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after the infamous Instagram live stream and an incident, which she said led to him R-wording her. So it looks like in the suit, after they went live, she was like, nah, I don't want to do this no more. And he told her, I keep you around. So yeah, O'Shea Sharp, that's on you. Now, will she get 50 M? Nah, but you can definitely get a little bit of money. Doe claimed in her suit that the first instance happened in October 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Bowl football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January 2025. Doe claims Sharp came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead violently assault her once more. She's suing for $50 million. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money, Busby said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf. I look forward to pressing this case in court. We reached out to Sharp for comment in the case, but so far, no word back. Yeah, well, Shannon Sharpe. And here we go. Now, Busby, hey, Busby is a lawyer. Busby is a lawyer. When you're a lawyer, your job is to take cases. If you commit a crime, you got to call up a lawyer. Whether you're right or you're wrong, you got to call up a lawyer. A lawyer's job is to defend their client, right or wrong. So you can't be mad at lawyers for doing their job. That's just the way it is. When we got these gangsters getting these big time lawyers, and we know that there's evidence that they committed a crime, no one says, "Oh man, these lawyers are helping criminals." Nah, this is the system that we live in, the legal system. A lawyer, I take your case. If I think I can win money, that's a lawyer's job. A lawyer is a liar. A politician is a liar. You got to do what you got to do. Now, so Busby actually has a history of winning cases. So he takes more than just SA cases. He got some bigger cases that he won. But right now, that's the hot thing to do. Settling out of court. If I'm a lawyer, I'm taking all the cases I know I can get some kind of money in. A win is a win. If I can give my client $1 million out of somebody, that means 120,000 from me. If I can get 50 million, that means I'm getting 5 million out of that. So a lawyer, the only way you eat is taking cases. The only way you eat is taking cases. A firefighter, the only way a firefighter eat is going to put out fires. A lawyer's job is to defend whatever client comes to them. They could be the most heinous crime. You see these big time lawyers, they take all these bombers cases. We got lawyers. El Chapo's in prison right now. Ain't no one shame his lawyer for trying to get him out. And we know he been moving dope, one of the biggest dope dealers of all time. So a lawyer's job, you can't look at a lawyer. You just got to look at the lawyer like, people believe O.J. Simpson did it. But guess what? Johnny Compton went in there and told you he didn't do it. A lawyer's job is to defend the client no matter what. They're there for their best interest of you. When they go past that bar and they take that oath, their job is to protect you and get you what you deserve. So you just got to get a better lawyer. It sucks, but this is the way it is. And in this case, this is Shannon Sharpe just being stupid. I'm not saying he's guilty, but we know he did the IG Live. So here's Shannon Sharpe explaining that.
On my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself. Not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I let them call them. I called my sister. My friends, obviously, my friends reached out. But guys, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone. Staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed. Engaged in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie, and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, you know, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. I run my accounts, but Jordan being the good Samaritan, the good soldier that he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. That he is. Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. Jordan cut it off. Jordan put the message up. And then after I called my agent, the agency, I called ESPN after I just got this good, tell them the truth. I said, I just got to tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being healthy active male. I mean, y'all thought I was bull jiving. Hey, oh, Joe, see, I don't, man, I'll be lying, I'm lying. Okay, lying.
Come
I
on,
know
man.
these sparks hard, oh, Joe. And, you know, I
come on,
know
man.
these sparks hard, oh, Joe. And, you know, I hit one early this morning.
Come on, man.
In all sincerity, I'm extremely embarrassed that a very, very private, intimate situation, the audio can be heard. I'm in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I let them call them. I called my sister. My friends, obviously, my friends reached out. But guys, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone. Staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed.
All right, so there's Shannon Sharpe talking about what actually happened that day. He said he came in, he was just a healthy male, and they went in there and they got to it, but somehow he accidentally went live. And then he runs his social media, but somebody else got into the social media and logged them out. Now, usually you got assistants that are probably logged in there, but he said he runs everything. So it just isn't making sense. This is Shannon Sharpe. We all thought it was a goofy move. You're 55 years old. There's no way you accidentally did that. But that's where we are right now with this case. And Eric, here you go. Here you go, Eric. If you guys want to know about Tony Busby, so yeah, is he an ambulance chaser? Yes. But has he had big cases that he won outside of like SA and things of that nature? Yes, he has. Tony Busby is known for winning a large verdicts and settlements in high-profile cases, including $150 million in a verdict against Valero after a refinery explosion in Tennessee, $41 million verdict against seamen bitten by a brown recluse spider. He also won $35 million for a restaurant chain owner in a partnership dispute and handled numerous other major cases, including those against corporations and public figures. So he won $56 million in Colorado Springs. This case was reported as the largest ever in Colorado Springs. The $100 million settlement in a chemical case, $750 million lawsuit against Travis Scott, filed on behalf of Astroworld family and victims. Representation of numerous Williams against Deshaun Watson. He won some of those. So he has a lot of cases outside of SA, the Diddy case. So he's a lawyer. That's his job. Find cases. Find cases that he believes he can win some money out of. Aim for the stars and take the moon. $41 million. Well, you could die from a brown recluse. Sheesh. So Shannon Sharpe is in hot water at the moment. Now, let me see. What else do we got? Is there any new? NBC, New York Post. Also, real quick. Now, this came right after the announcement that Shannon Sharpe is looking for $100 million deal, podcast deal. So they're looking for $50 million and Shannon is looking to get $100 million. Now, this right here, this $100 million, whatever this is, they're going to put this on halt until all these allegations are over with and they're going to see where this goes. Now, this could be bad for Shannon. He could be removed from ESPN. In all seriousness, they're probably just going to step away from him at the moment and just pause anything they do. Because remember, at one point, everyone was looking at ESPN and saying, oh, ESPN, you know, they doing their thing because what went on with Fox, with Joy, not Joy, is it Joy? Yeah, it's Joy over there, and then you got a old girl on this one. But you had the Skip situation. So now they're going to look at Shannon Sharpe. They're probably going to back off from a little bit. Now, all that he's doing for LeBron and them, you won't hear Clutch Sports say one thing about this. LeBron's about to separate himself away from Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe's about to be on the island. What's the boy name? I mean, not the boy, the man. Stephen A. Stephen A is about to get on his podcast tonight, and he's going to say what is going on with Shannon. From what I know, he's a good man. Now, these allegations, we're going to see what Stephen A does. But everyone's about to separate themselves from him. He didn't have anything negative to say about Skip. I don't think anyone's going to jump on Shannon about this. They're going to probably say, let it play out. From what they know about Shannon, it is what it is. What's the dude name? What's the black guy's name? That's always going in on everybody. He used to be on the network, but they got rid of him. He used to write the articles. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the dude name? What up, Kid Gravity? What I think Ocho will do? Well, Ocho works for himself. Ocho's still going to be on the nightcap. Ocho doesn't have any major branding deals or anything. So for Ocho, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Ocho doesn't work for anybody. Ocho gets paid via Shannon. So as long as Nightcap is going, he's good. Ocho, he's very frugal anyway. So I think he'll definitely stay around. I mean, what is he? It's not like where you gonna cancel him from? I didn't do anything. That's Shannon's stuff. But Jason Whitlock, he's about to jump in. If you remember back, Jason Whitlock kept saying, why isn't Shannon Sharpe's name mentioned in all of that? Why isn't Shannon Sharpe? Why isn't Shannon Sharpe? Why isn't Shannon Sharpe? So right now, it's just about to be a huge separation. The major thing is seeing what ESPN does. What who is Nightcap with? Was it DraftKings? We're just going to start seeing everybody that's partnered with him. We're going to start seeing separation. But this is what happens. That's why when you start getting all this money, especially somebody like Shannon Sharpe, when you're doing all of this and you're getting all this money, you got to start putting in the clause in your contract. Hey, if there's allegations, y'all can't suspend me or nothing. Forget what the damn public, whatever their perception is. Y'all can't suspend me or nothing. If it's just allegations against me, because they're going to pop up whenever you get new deals. If it's just allegations, y'all still got to pay me and I'm still on the air. You got to start putting that in there, man. The hell with that. Suspending me, because if it's a false allegation, then what? Your reputation is ruined. You know what I mean? There's no coming back from that, especially when it's somebody that doesn't have the millions. Now, am I saying that Shannon is innocent? No, I don't know what the hell is going on. Did he have her on IG Live? Did she consent is what she's going to have to prove. If she didn't consent, the IG Live right there is automatically enough to get at least a couple million. He got millions of viewers. He's getting millions of views on his nightcap, his podcast. Oh, yeah. So everybody knows Michelle, my Michelle. So that's who we're thinking this Jane Doe is. Well, Ocho is partnered with Shannon Sharpe. But that's it. Ocho doesn't have any major deals on his own that we know about. You know, he's up under Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe was trying to build like his own type podcast. The old Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay was like the overseer of everything that he had. He was branching out. So this is the Shannon Sharpe eyes $100 million podcast deal as volume contract expires. The Pro Football Hall of Famer has become one of the world's most successful podcasters, also while appearing on ESPN shows like First Take. Shannon Sharpe's media deal with Colin Cowherd's, the Volume Podcast Network, is up. Now, Colin Cowherd, he's also on FS1. So he's on Fox. He used to come on right after Skip and Shannon. So Shannon signed the deal up under him. That deal is up. Shannon is going for that $100 million. He got First Take, and this right here was supposed to slingshot him up. So his deal is up with Volume Podcast Network. Sources tell Front Office Sports the Pro Football Hall of Famer has received multiple offers and is expected to sign a deal that could exceed $100 million. Shannon Sharpe partnered with the Volume in August of 2023, several months after leaving FS1's Undisputed, where he broke out opposite Skip Bayless. Club Shay Shay immediately took off to become one of the biggest podcasts in the sports and entertainment, particularly on YouTube. where it's a juggernaut. Nightcap with co-host Ocho Cinco also has a considerable audience. Shannon Sharpe's interview with comedian Cat Williams reached 89 million views and counting on YouTube since premiering January 3rd, 2024. Sharpe's Club Shay Shay has amassed nearly 4 million subscribers. So that means roughly 4 million people heard him talk about what happened that night, not including what was on Instagram, not including all the other social media outlets that took that. A new deal will encompass all shows that Shay Shay Network, not just Sharps, that's currently including Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Club 520, which is Jeff Teague, the Bubba Dub Show, and the Humble Baddies. So all of them, they're gonna probably still be running, except for Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. So any interviews that Club Shay Shay had lined up, they're probably not going to drop right now. They're probably going to hold on to them. Sharpe regularly appears on ESPN shows like First Take with Stephen A. Smith earlier this year. Volume added Nick Wright to the podcast, a popular YouTube feed. All right. So that's what's going on with Shannon Sharpe. Again, I'm not saying that Shannon is innocent or guilty. I just know he was on the Instagram Live. All right. Let me see. Is there anything more recent? E Online. Let me see if they got anything else. NFL alum Shannon Sharpe accused of sexual assault and battery in $50 million lawsuit. The former Broncos tight end accused of sexual assault and battery following a 2-year relationship. The April 20th civil complaint in which an accuser is being identified as Jane Doe alleged that Sharpe R-worder recorded and shared. See, here we go. Now, it says she alleged that Sharpe R-word her, recorded and shared videos. So it doesn't seem like it was just, oh man, come on, Shannon. I know you wasn't sending videos of her. Sharpe R-word her, recorded and shared videos with an S of their ex encounters without her knowledge and engaged in unprotected ex despite her efforts to get him to stop. So Shannon Sharpe. He engaged in unprotected ex despite her efforts to get him to stop and wear a condom. News has reached out to reps of Shannon Sharpe. Nothing back. Jane Doe alleged that her and Sharpe began a rocky consensual relationship in 23, described him as controlling, abusive. He demanded complete control, time and body. Complaint filed in Nevada. Per TMZ Sports and NBC Sports, expecting her to be at his house at the schedule. Okay, this is the same stuff. All right, defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept, the filing continued. After many months of manipulating and controlling a plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no in R-word the plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. Jane Doe, who was 20 at the time, alleged Sharpe, 56, forced himself on her while she was crying after she attempted to break things off following news of the Club Shay Shay podcast host was accidentally having sex with another woman. Well, hold on. She attempted to break things off following the news that Club Shay Shay podcast was her. So she's not saying it was her on the Instagram live. She's saying that it was another woman. But the TMZ article said that it was her on the. The civil complaint, which does not have any criminal consequences attached, is seeking $50 million When there's a trial, the recovery, if any, will be determined by a jury based on the evidence and law. The document continued. The number can, in theory, be anything. Tony Busby confirmed his law firm was representing Jane Doe on April 21st on Instagram, adding that his client alleged that she was brutally assaulted by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions. Last incident was January of this year. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe lays out the pattern of intimidation, manipulation, abuse, including allegations that Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke and slap. I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, he concluded. I look forward to pressing on in court. All right. Well, that's Shannon Sharpe right there. They're looking for 50 million. Man, what y'all think? What y'all think about O'Shea Shay? I don't know, man. Like I say, at the end of the day, we don't know any of these people. They may seem cool. We don't know what they do behind closed doors. Nobody knows what they do behind closed doors. So again, I'm not vouching for Shannon as a person. Hey, his due process, he'll get his day in court. If he didn't do any of these, then he'll come out clean. If he did, well, it look like the pockets about to be hurting. This will be the last we hear of Shannon. Now, unless people back Shannon and they say, "Oh, this is a money grab," then that's what we'll see. But Tony's going for the 50 million. So, like I said, it ain't like Tony's no slouch. Tony won $159 million. He got the biggest verdict in Colorado Springs. He won $750 million. $56 million verdict, $35 million settlement against a restaurant, $41 million against a ship, $150 million against a gas station. So Tony Busby, yeah, he may take some cases that we look at like, but let's not act like he ain't one. He got 1, 2. This is almost $1 billion. He done won almost $1 billion. So regardless of what we think about him, let's see. America's top 100 high-stake litigators. Oh, man, what is this? His website? Oh, man, this is some fake shit right here. We ain't going on here. Talking about submit your form. Yeah, so 2009. Oh, so he got some money. Well, there we go. Nikima said, "Well, I don't understand is how anything can be proven without DNA or SA." Well, this is a civil case. With a civil case, you don't need any of that. With the DNA and all of that, that'd be better for your that'd be better for like a criminal case. But if there's proof that he sent video somewhere, there's a text message or anything. Like if we see a text message where hopefully Shannon ain't like, let me make it clear. I'm not vouching for Shannon. I'm just looking at this just from the outside looking in. Hopefully there isn't any text messages because I don't want any of this stuff to have happened. But hopefully there isn't any text messages Shannon talking about I'll slap you or I'll choke you or anything of that dumb nature. You know, hopefully there isn't. But if there is, it's kind of like, can we not, if we see something of that nature, can we not believe it? The same thing with Diddy. I mean, in his case, just off topic, they said some of the testimony won't be used, but Like in Diddy's case, we didn't believe any of this, and then we seen the video of him whooping on Cassie. Now, did it have anything to do with that freak offs? No. But once we seen that, it's like, well, if he's capable of doing that, then I'm sure he's probably trying to take something too. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see. But that's all we got right now as far as the Shannon Sharpe case. This just popped up. They filed it yesterday, so they're probably keeping it hush hush. And then today, TMZ was like, man, we dropping it. But let me see. Is there anything else on people? Oh, so here we go. We got a little more information. All right, here we go. The woman, now a Nevada resident, says that she met Sharpe when she was 22 years old. See, everything is changing, unless they were just saying in her 20s. They're saying Sharpe met her when she was 22 in a gym in Los Angeles in 23. She claims he made multiple advances toward her subsequent visits to the gym before the complaint says she eventually gave in. Sharpe allegedly asked the woman to sign an NDA before she could meet up with him, but dropped the request after she pushed back, the lawsuit states. Now, is there any text message or anything that shows that he asked for that? Because if Shannon's asking for an NDA, that's not uncommon for a celebrity or somebody with status. Because you don't want them, even if it's just you guys hanging out, you just don't want people running off and telling you business. But dropped the request after she pushed back, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit recounts a subsequent alleged incident during which she claims Sharpe became violent with her and threatened to knock her off after she showed up late to his home. He demanded complete control. All right, so this is pretty much all the same, but on this one, it's saying that she signed an NDA. And down here, it also says that it was another woman on the Instagram live. So she wasn't the one. We got to see the extra documentation. But this one's saying she wasn't the woman. It was somebody else. And that's what made her pull away. Then the plaintiff claims that Sharpe began flooding her phone with calls, prompting her to leave Nevada frequently, according to the lawsuit. The suit then describes an October 2024 incident where Sharpe allegedly forced the plaintiff into a car and took her to her apartment. The plaintiff alleges that Sharpe then forced her to perform oral before anally R-word. Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look. Hey, disturbance here, caution. Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look at him as she sobbed. The lawsuit claims he said at that point, "Look at this. Look at my arm. I got the chills. That's how good this is." What the hell? In January 25, the plaintiff claims that Sharpe asked to come to her apartment to give her a combined Christmas and birthday present. Once there, the plaintiff alleges in the complaint that he again actually assaulted her and refused to wear a condom. A representative for Sharpe did not immediately be reached. The plaintiff is requesting $50 million in damages. So every article we get to, it gives us a little more detail. Damn. What do I think about civil cases that stem from criminal allegations? Well, it depends. It depends. Take me for example. I got in a car wreck when I was 7 years old. Now, in the state of Missouri, I had to the age of 21 to sue that lady. Now, the lady hit me and could have went to jail for that. But if I would have sued, people would have said, why didn't I sue back when I was 7 years old? Well, I didn't know I had that legal right. My parents didn't tell me till I was older that I could actually sue. They were just happy that I was alive. But if I would have sued her at 20 years old, would I have wanted her to go to jail? No. I'm just suing her to bring in her insurance to get the money from the insurance. So was it criminal that she was speeding? Yes. Did she hit me while speeding? Yes. Is that a crime? Yes. But would I want her to go to jail when I was 20 years old? No. I just would have wanted the money out of that. So it really depends on your type of situation. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it from my experience. I could have had a civil case. I probably could have got like 100,000, maybe 200 or something. But would I have wanted her to go to jail for something that happened 20 years ago? No, but would I have wanted the $200,000? Definitely. You know what I mean? So I mean, it really just depends. Like if it's a malpractice lawsuit, you want the doctor to go to jail or you just want to sue the hospital? There was a girl that lived a couple of blocks down from us. She ended up um what happened? She ended up getting electrocuted and she lost one of her arms. It just went down to her elbow. Now it was negligence on the electricity company, but no one went to jail. She just sued the electricity company and won like $6 million. You see what I'm saying? No one went to jail. They could have, but she didn't press charges. She just did a civil case. So I guess it depends on you and where you're at. If you need that money, I guess getting the money and setting yourself up for something that you went through is better for your life than someone going to jail. You see what I'm saying? It sucks, but if the roles were reversed, would you want to go to jail for something you did, or would you want to just pay? You know, you're gonna take a hit because you're paying a lot of money. But you see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's tough to call. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, again, I'm not defending Shannon Sharpe. I'm just giving my perspective on going civil and not criminal. That's the only way I can see it. Like I wouldn't have wanted that lady to go to jail. Yeah, she was speeding, but I speed sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But that's Shannon Sharpe's case there. That's whatever updates we have up till the last 30 minutes, I want to say, last 30, 40 minutes. So what you guys think about O'Shea Sharpe? Because I mean it can get crazy. All right. Damn Shay Shay. Six days ago, USA Today. All right, next we're gonna do the Carmelo Anthony case, and from there, because well, we almost had an hour already. Yeah, we'll do the Carmelo Anthony case. I haven't broke it down or actually looked at anything too much in detail. I know that he did get a bond. They did do a GoFundMe, so we'll do that. We'll see if there's any videos, and then we'll look and see how much time we got because we do have Monday Mistakes on Mo.J. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for me, join the Discord. Switch account. All right. Just before we even start, so the kid's name is Carmelo Anthony. So I want to know how old is his parents because it had to be his dad that named him Carmelo. You know what I mean? Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, but they named it did it with an R. All right. Edit. We're going to go over to USA Today. All right. Carmelo Anthony. All right. So teen accused of fatally stabbing Texas track athlete released after posting $250,000 bond. The teen was released with an electronic monitor and will remain on house arrest, only leaving home when court approval.
Students and staff at Memorial High School in Frisco will remember a student stabbed to death at a track meet.
The victim's father says his son died in the arms of his twin brother. Shannon Murray here with those details. Shannon.
Yeah, Lauren and Brandon, Memorial High School will honor Austin Metcalf during second period today. There will also be counselors to support students and staff throughout the day on campus. Wednesday morning, the 17-year-old was at a District 11 5A track meet at Kuykendall Stadium. Around 10 a.m., police say another student from Frisco Centennial stabbed Austin in the chest after a fight. The family says his twin brother Hunter tried to save Austin's life, but he died in his brother's arms. Wednesday night, their church opened its doors for a private prayer vigil. Austin's father says his son was chosen MVP of the football team and a member of the National Honor Society with a 4.0. He says right now they're relying on their faith.
He had a great life ahead of him. And to be taken away, it's such a tragedy. I mean, I can't even tell you how I feel because I don't know how I feel. I feel numb at the moment.
17-year-old Karmelo Anthony is charged with first-degree murder. Police have not said how he got the knife into the meat or what exactly led up to the fight, but Austin's father says it started over a seating issue in the stands. Austin's father says their family wants to see justice served, and he hopes his son's death will bring changes to security in the district.
Oh, no, not today, Donald. All right, so a teenager charged in the stabbing death of Texas track athlete has been released from jail on bond this week. Karmelo Anthony was released from jail on a reduced bond on April 14th, according to court records, and Mike Howard, Anthony's newly hired defense attorney. The team's bond was originally set for $1 million. Former counsel for the team confirmed to USA Today last week lawyers filed to have it reduced to $150,000, reported to NBC5 Dallas-Fort Worth, WFAA TV. Anthony's bond was ultimately reduced to $250,000, according to court records and Howard. The teen has been issued an electronic monitor and will remain on house arrest, only leaving with court approval, court records say. Anthony must also be supervised by parent or adult at all times and can't have contact with the victim's family. He also has to check in with court bailiffs every Friday, court records show. In a statement to USA Today on April 15th, Howard said that Anthony is now back home with his family. Karmelo and the entire Anthony family look forward to some quiet time together, his lawyers wrote. They asked for space and time to for the full investigation by both sides to play out fairly. Anthony was charged with the M word in connection to an April 2nd stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, according to Frisco police, an arrest warrant affidavit obtained by USA Today. The police and prosecution want to get it right. Since the deletion on April 2nd, Anthony's family has created a fundraiser through the platform Go Send Go, raising over $431,000 of his $500,000 goal on April 15th. The narrative being spread is false, unjust, and harmful, his family wrote in the Give, Send, Go fundraiser description. As a family of faith, we are deeply grateful for all the support during this trying period. Your prayers and assistance mean more to us than now more than ever. The Next Generation Action Network, a civil rights organization in North Texas, has spoken out in support of Anthony's family and said on April 8th that There have been escalating racist threats and bigotry directed at the Anthony family. Their personal address has been exposed, Minister Dominique Alexander, president of the Civil Rights Organization, said during a news conference last week. This justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We do not pull the race card, we live it. Now, I mean, that's messed up. I don't know if this young man did it or not, but I mean, you're sending threats over to the man's house. Howard said the threats aren't good for either family involved, so he asked the public to allow the temperature on this to come down. The judge who released Anthony on bond took in consideration his age, his clean record, and whether he was a flight risk. Anthony's father testified at his bond hearing on April 14th, adding that his son has never been in trouble and he does not have a passport. His father said friends and family would make sure Anthony stayed on the right path. When reporters asked Howard this week why his client had a knife at the track meet that day, he said it's a valid question, but the team wasn't ready to answer. The police and prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we, Howard said. It would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying this is what happened. Now, I don't know. Let me see. Karmelo Anthony. Let me see. So it's a Frisco. I don't know. Are knives banned? Cause I think. Well, I don't know if you can have it on school grounds. This is Texas. We don't know Texas. The deletion happened the morning of April 2nd during a track meet at Frisco Independent School District. All right, let me see. Prohibited items. Cool Kindle Stadium. So this is the stadium bag policy. Let's see if they have anything. He admitted that he did it to the cops, but asked if it was considered self-defense or so I read. All right, prohibited bags. Well, this is just telling us the bags. So all purses, bag containers larger than a clutch. No diaper bags, carrying bags, coolers. Clear bags, clear tote. So wait, you mean to tell me security didn't do their job? I just want to see in the policy though. I'll let that load. Metcalf was a student of Memorial High School and was participating in a track meet that day, police said. A witness called for help around 10 a.m. about an altercation between two teens in which Metcalf was stabbed. First responders tried to save Metcalf, but he was eventually pronounced deleted, police said. A school resource officer was the first to arrive, according to arrest warrant affidavit obtained by USA Today. The officer recalled telling Anthony to put his hands up, to which the teen allegedly replied, "I was protecting myself." Anthony said Metcalf put his hands on him, admitted to stabbing him, and asked, "Is he going to be okay?" During the investigation, one witness said he was sitting under a Memorial High School tent when the team and Metcalf and Anthony were sitting nearby, according to the affidavit. Anthony who was not a member of the team, was sitting under the team's tent. That's when Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move, the witness told authorities, per the court document. Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Metcalf, touch me and see what happens. Metcalf then touched Anthony, who told Metcalf to punch him and see what happens, according to the witness. Metcalf grabbed Anthony and again told him to get from under the team's tent. Then Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away, the witness said. Yeah, this witness is credible. This don't sound good. Now, Metcalf shouldn't have put his hands on him. And the state of Texas is different. We've seen some weird cases in Texas. Now, this young brother is black, so it might not go the way he wants it to. But Metcalf grabbed his chest and told people to get help per the affidavit. He was pronounced deleted at the scene. So this is where it was at. Seating. Facility. No outside food. Bag policy replacement reviews. City limits. Type of bags. Entering. Clear plastic. Small clutch. Prohibited items not included. Purses larger than that. Luggage any kind. Computer bags. Binoculars. Any bag. So they don't really have like a set list. But like Nakima said, I'm pretty sure it's no weapons. No knives. They probably got the sign up out front. Austin Metcalf's father, maybe we can learn from this. Since the death, multiple fundraisers for the Metcalf family have been created. As of April 15th, the fundraisers has garnered nearly $530,000. Loved ones celebrated Metcalf at the memorial service on April 12th. According to the outlet, the teen was a twin and he died in his brother's arms. The weekend before his death, the teens went hunting with their father. I'm so fortunate to be able to spend that weekend not knowing it was the last weekend I'll ever spend with them, their father said, per the Dallas, Texas station. I was able to watch and be blessed so much. Both of my sons are amazing. The other son is just crushed. I feel for him now. He won't be the same. None of us will. What up, RC? Now, I think there was so this is just a family talking about it. Let me see. Videos. There's supposed to be a video of him walking at the let me see.
The industrial grade product you need, plus 1 million more. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by.
Track meet stabbing Austin Metcalf's dad is quartered away. I watch a little bit of wrestling, nothing recently, but so we know the family is getting threats. Family speech is 31 minutes. We're not listening to 31 minutes of that. Let me see. This is Urban Politics. Shout out to Urban Politics. He's been doing this thing. Team released. Here we go.
Tonight, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, who was charged with first-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of a teen at a track meet earlier this month, is out on bond. A judge today reducing the teen's $1 million bond to $250,000 at the request of the defense.
I feel it's fair. Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish.
Anthony's father testifying that his son does not have a passport and that he would be surrounded by friends and family who would keep him accountable ahead of the trial.
The judge has made her call, and we look forward to continuing the process and looking forward to reviewing all the facts of the case.
The lower bond comes amidst rising tensions in the community after the stabbing during a high school track meet on April 2nd that led to the death of Austin Metcalf.
End result, he stabbed my son in the heart and killed him. That's what it was over.
According to the arrest report, a witness told police Metcalf asked Anthony, who attends a different high school, to move to his own school's tent at the meet. Anthony then told Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens," according to a witness. And later, Metcalf grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, telling our NBC station in Dallas, his son died in his twin brother's arms after he was stabbed.
I will never be the same.
Anthony telling a responding officer at the scene, "I was protecting myself before being questioned," according to the arrest report. Later saying in the police report, "I'm not alleged, I did it," in response to the officer referring to him as an alleged suspect. Since the stabbing, tensions over race have surfaced, leading to meetings between activists and officials. An online fund for Anthony raising more than $400,000 for his defense. The nonprofit civil rights group Next Generation Action Network demanding protection for Anthony's family after claims their home address was leaked online.
We have saw so many different hateful images, just hateful things.
This weekend, Austin Metcalf, who family described as a scholar, leader, and star athlete, was laid to rest. Tonight, two families' lives changed forever as this case moves forward.
This is a terrible tragedy for our entire, not just Frisco, but Collin County community. One family has suffered a permanent loss. It's the most unnatural thing for a parent to lose their child. It's permanent, it's profound, it's certainly premature, and it's the hardest thing that I think a human being can go through.
So, George, what else do we know about the condition of this teen's release?
Yeah, Tom, he'll be under house arrest and also have to wear an ankle monitor and check in with the bailiff every single Friday. Now, today, his attorney saying this investigation is still far from over, as there's still many questions left to be answered, including why the teen may have had a knife on him in the first place. Tom?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking.
So that's that. And then there was a New York Post that came out where it's talking about they were misusing the funds. Give me a second. I'm see if I can get on here. I think I got my one free article from the New York Post. But there's also conflicting stories where they're saying they didn't do this. But I hope. Of course, now I can't even access the damn. Pausing this site. All right, so here we go. Here's an allegation from the New York Post. It says Karmelo Anthony, living with family, a $900,000 home in gated community, bought a new car after release on bond. Austin Metcalf murder case reports. Now, they're saying he's living with family. Now, does this mean that this is their house? No, if you're living with family, I got an uncle that got like a $700,000-$800,000 house. It doesn't mean it's mine. I'm just living with family. But they said that they were getting threats, so they probably got moved over there. Hopefully they aren't buying a house with this money, you know. The Texas teen accused of fatally stabbing a high school football star at a track meet allegedly lives in a $900,000 home with his family inside a luxurious gated community, despite requesting that a judge lower his $1 million bond because of financial difficulties, according to the report. Regardless of how much their house costs, man, they ain't got the $1 million cash. They ain't got the $2 million cash. Karmelo Anthony, 17, is holed up with his family at the pricey home inside a gated community of Rich Woods in Frisco, Texas, after he was released from jail Monday on a reduced $250,000 bond, allegedly taken out Austin Metcalf earlier this month. The home, where rent is estimated to be $3,500 a month, had a white Suburban and a black Acura and a third sedan in the driveway on Tuesday, according to the outlet. A neighbor said the family had just bought a new ride. He got a new car, the resident told the outlet. If you look at the license plate, it got a paper tag on it and it says expires June 4th. Well, he can't leave the house, so why would he buy a new car? Richwood is about a mile away from Centennial High School, where Anthony went to school and ran track. Residents in the gated community were allegedly unaware the family was living at the house until Anthony was released Monday and have voiced concerns about having an accused killer in their exclusive neighborhood. Not good, not good. I don't think he should be out, an anonymous mother in the neighborhood told the Daily Mail. Well, that's not on you. That's on the court. Let me see. So this is the neighborhood here. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know Texas had almost $1 million homes. Not like this. Not in a gated community like this. Another neighbor also told the outlet that Anthony's family is not poor if they live in the gated community. They're not poor people. That's for sure, he said. The home has also been getting flooded with deliveries allegedly for Anthony's family, with Amazon trucks being seen making multiple drop-offs at this home, the outlet reported. The best thing they can do is move, said another neighbor. I think that would be best for everyone. Well, I don't have kids, so I don't know how the situation is. But if I'm living in this house and I'm paying $3,500 a month, my mortgage is $35,000, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. If you feel a certain type of way, you move. Now, this is excluding what the child did, because the parents are not at fault for what this child did while he was at the game. So telling them that they need to move, no, this is where we live. What the outcome is of my son, I'm gonna have to live with that, but I'm still living here. I got a mortgage here. You think I can just up and sell this house today and be gone tomorrow? No. So I don't agree with that. I mean, if they've been living there, y'all never complained before. No one said they just moved in. Everyone said they've been living here. No one knew that Anthony lived here. Now he might be staying with family members. Who knows? Who knows? But we're gonna go into the mother's response. It's unclear how long Anthony and his family have lived in the home. Anthony had been locked in Collin County Jail and charged with first degree for allegedly stabbing Metcalf, also 17, in the heart during a fight over a seat at a track meet. Anthony allegedly told police he was acting in self-defense, and the family claimed the narrative being spread is false, unjust, and harmful. On a Go Send Go fundraiser for their legal fees, which raised more than $440,000 on Wednesday. Initially, he was being held with $1 million bond, slashed to $250,000, ruled he may await trial at home with an ankle monitor, 24-hour supervision. A lower bond came 1 week after Anthony's attorney would ask the court to reduce the excessive $1 million bond and ask the local district attorney to make a better determination of the charges. So the fund set up the teen's family with legal fees is also being used to hire additional security for him and his family amid backlash. So, all right, so they're getting more money. Given that Karmelo has no prior history and given that this young man has not been in any sort of trouble, for $1 million is not necessary. The family needs to be able to survive. He went on. There's been a tremendous amount of pressure. I think at this point, living in a gated community, given everything, the safety of their younger children is warranted. Security details and criminal defense are not cheap. All right. Now we'll see what the mother had to say. So this is what the mother has to say, and this will be it for this case until we get something else.
The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser, and the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. and it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. And let me be clear, the claims.
Yeah, well, she's saying it didn't happen. They didn't buy a new house. They haven't even took out the money. It'll be a couple of days. I'm not laughing at the situation. One thing about social media that's bad is everything on social media is a joke. The way humans are set up, we try to make light of every situation. Now, I'm not doing any jokes or anything. You know, normally I have one, but you know, someone did die here. So, but social media is not the place you want to go. You know what I mean? Go to your news outlets. You can listen to people, but do not read the comments. The comments will be the furthest thing away from reality. You know, like one of the comments on there, not to make fun or anything, but it says, "Come on, man, that's a GoFundMe wig." You see what I'm saying? It's like that's what y'all got out of her saying that they didn't take the money. So you looking at her wig. So I mean, just be careful when it comes to like social media and what they got going on. But that's Carmelo Anthony's case right now. He's out $250,000 bond. He's at the house. He has full-time security 24/7. And that's it. I mean, there's really nothing else we can do from there. 122. All right, so we got two big cases out the way. What else do we got? We got the PK Theft. We got them on another damn signal gate. What else has happened? Shannon Sharpe's incident. This is the wild time, man. One thing about life, every single day, there's always something new. Oh, the Pope just passed. RIP to the Pope. Happy Easter to all you all. RIP to the Pope. Yeah, man, it's just every single day, there's always something that happens in the world. All right, give me a topic. We got like 30 minutes. The Pope. They're going to be doing that all day. Hexef plays disgruntled, blames disgruntled former employees. Man, you did that. The stock market is going down to the shitter. But now I will say this, though. This is going to be a time to buy. If you got some money onto the side, this will be the time to make some investments. I know I'm about to move some money around. I'm about to throw like maybe 15 to 20 out there, you know what I'm saying? See what I can do, see what I can scoop up while it's down. What's going on, Larry? My first question is, why would you bring a knife to a track meet? Was someone else threatening them, or was it just commonplace for kids to do this? See, that's my thing. In Texas, like, is that just something? I know, like, when I was younger, yeah, it used to be dudes. I mean, they didn't take it to school. But yeah, I used to know people that walked around with pocket knives, just little blades, little 3-inch blades. So I don't know. Maybe he was into it with someone else at the track meet. Should he have been over there? No, because it wasn't his school. Should Metcalf have put his hands on him? Nah, but does that warrant his stabbing somebody? In the state of Texas, things are different. Now, having the knife on school grounds, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. You probably can't do that, but I don't know, man. In Texas, knives with blades 5.5 inches or shorter can be. See, that's what I'm saying. Some states is different. Like on military bases, we can carry pocket knives, but they have to be 3 inches or shorter. Over here in Germany, it's illegal to have a knife, so I can't take my knife like and walk around with it. You see what I'm saying? I got like a Gerber that I took to work. I don't use it; just got it just because. Then, see, it's so much stuff going on. Aisha, I did too. I heard it wasn't a knife; it was actually the cleat sharpener. That's what the actual report said. Let me see. Oh shit! This is taking me to God. Oh, taking a thread. Like threads is a little more wholesome than. I don't know who Daft Noodles is, but fact check: Carmelo Anthony did not have a cleat sharpener instead of a knife. There's zero evidence of that. Anyone spreading this is desperate to rewrite the narrative. Yeah, it's a white guy, so you got to take that with a grain of salt, unless it's coming from like an actual news source. Yeah, I don't see any legitimate websites saying that. But there's so much stuff going on. We forgot all about all these planes that have been messing up. Passengers evacuated in Orlando tarmac after the engine fire. So this was today. Literally, what time is it? Eastern? This is like an hour ago. It's about an hour ago. The FAA is investigating after an engine fire resulted in passengers on a Delta Airlines flight evacuating down emergency slides onto the tarmac at Orlando International Airport this morning. The completely full Airbus, geez Louise, these words are small, I'm getting old. The completely full Airbus A330 plane had just departed its gate to fly to Atlanta when a fire was reported in one of the two engines, according to statements from the Federal Aviation Administration and Delta Airlines. Jeez Louise, every time we look up, it's a damn new plane. A large ball of orange flames was seen coming out of the right engine on a cell phone video captured by Dylan Wallace, a passenger in the terminal. We are calling the fire trucks right now. We see that. A controller noted on audio recorded by the website Broadcastify. Emergency responders were then cleared to go on the plane. After earlier saying there were 200 passengers on board, the airline updated it to the count to 282. So we just missed out on 82 people. We could just look at the manifest. Delta flight crews follow procedures to evacuate the passengers cabin when flames in the tailpipe of one of the aircraft's two engines were observed. The airline said no passengers were reported injured. That's good. We appreciate our customers' cooperation and apologize for the experience. Nothing is more important than safety, and Delta teams will work to get our customers to their final destinations as soon as possible, the airline said. Delta will fly the passengers to their final destinations. I hate that word because we watch the movies, to their final destinations on other aircraft while maintenance teams are examining the aircraft at the fire. Let me see if they got I want to see the footage of that now. Orlando.
Five-star savings on customer favorites and soon at Ray Moore and Flanagan.
start the bidding at $5 million.
Robin Hood Gold members get a 3% IR.
Much to lose starts.
See, this is what happens to me when I get on the Mo You Know. Once I go onto any news website, I just start clicking on stuff, and I'll just look at articles, and that's why I always have like a current events. I'm always just looking at stuff, and I just go down the rabbit hole. If I get on the website and I see something, I click on it, and then you'll see another link somewhere else, and I might spend 4 to 5 hours. Like when I get off of here, I might be in the bed just reading articles. I don't know why. I just do it, and then it just be like some random stuff I can use later on. But yeah. And you know, I got to see this fire. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Now with breaking news.
We want to get you back to that breaking news at Orlando International Airport. No one was hurt when this fire started on a Delta airplane. It happened just after 11 o'clock this morning. You can see the flames and the smoke here from this viewer, Dylan Wallace. Thank you so much for sending that into West 2. Delta confirmed to us the plane was about to take off from Orlando to Atlanta. West 2's Justin Checker joins us live from the ground at MCO this afternoon. Justin, such a terrifying moment for so many of these passengers.
Christine, can only imagine what it must have been like to be on that plane about to take off for Atlanta when an engine fire broke out. Like you mentioned, this flight was scheduled to fly from MCO to Atlanta this morning. It was scheduled to depart around 11 a.m., but the plane experienced that engine fire before it could take off. Let's show you that video one more time showing the flames and the smoke billowing from this Delta aircraft. Now, according to Delta, there were flames in the tailpipe of one of the aircraft's 2 engines. The witness video from inside the terminal shows the flames and the smoke billowing from that airplane. The good news, at this hour, the fire is now contained and it has been put out by firefighters who responded. But again, there were more than 200 people on board this plane that had to be evacuated. Some people could be seen exiting the airplane on an emergency slide. According to Delta, there were 200 passengers, 10 flight attendants, and 2 pilots on board this plane. We know both Orlando police and the airport's fire and rescue crews responded. Again, another good news at this hour is there are no initial reports of any injuries. Let's give you a live look right now at the tarmac. You can see there's still emergency vehicles around this aircraft that caught fire a little over about an hour and a half ago. We're told maintenance crews are examining the damage to this Delta Airbus, and we're also told that Delta is bringing in additional aircraft to get those passengers to their final destination at some point later today. Covering.
All right. Well, no one's injured. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But up under this administration has been very, very terrible for flights. Now, I know this flights do this all the time, but, you know, it's just more prevalent now because the FAA is all kinds of messed up. The Department of Transportation is all screwed up. But no one was hurt here. I do wonder if I was on that plane, I'm probably asking for a year of free flights. I'm probably asking for at least, I'm going to say 5,000 in hotel vouchers. You got to ask. You got to ask. I was on a plane that caught on fire. I need to fly for free for a whole year. And I need like 5,000 in hotels. You know what I'm saying? Whoever Delta is partnered with. But all right, let me see. He said, I have another case for you to look into. Case and Allison. Did I hear about Case and Allison? Larry also wondered, did the white kid hit him first? So the white kid played football. They said the white kid did grab Karmelo. Let me not call him the white kid. Metcalf grabbed Karmelo. And you know, from there, they said he reached in the bag and said if he touched him, see what happens. So we'll see. No one had any footage of it. Maybe there's some footage from the stadium. I don't know. We're going to see. What was your flight number 180? No, I ain't never flew on no flight 180, I don't think. Let me see. What is this? Gee, Louise. Case and Allison. What the hell did Case and Allison do? How the hell did McDonald's snack wraps pop up? This is a weird search. Case and Allison and McDonald's snack wraps are teased to come back. A woman working in the garden knocked out by a falling tree. Oh, what the hell? Which one is it? More witnesses revealed tense relationship between Case and Allen. Let me get an overview of this. I don't know who the hell Case and Allen is. Case and Allen timeline. All right. Oh, this is from 2022. Jeez Louise. Everybody wants you to disable the ad blocker. All right. A timeline into the Case and Allen. Murder trial of Case and Allen, accused Belton High School stabber. Is this Belton High School, Missouri? No, this ain't Belton, Missouri, is it? Let's just play the video. We'll see.
Stay at home with your hometown roofers and textbook systems where
What kind of commercial is this?
here for you.
Hi, I'm John Crowder, pastor.
No, you're not getting us, John. Just because you put the roof on the church don't mean we about to spend money. How you skip this ad?
Let's begin with our top story. The murder trial of a former Belton High School student began today. The suspect, Kason Allison, is accused of fatally stabbing fellow student Joe Ramirez in a Belton High bathroom back in 2022.
This comes after several trial delays and almost 3 years since the incident. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker was back at the courthouse. Sydney, what was today like?
The morning didn't really get started until around 9:30, and what followed was Allison pleading not guilty. The witnesses were called to testify today, but overall today gave us a clearer picture of what went down in Belton High School hallways that May 3rd day. The prosecutor began in their opening statements revealing there is a recording of the incident. They also said that the conflict between Joe and Kason began after an incident at a prom after party, and that Joe swung at Kason first, accompanied by 4 others in that bathroom. The defense countered by saying that Allison was not guilty of murder because, quote, Kason survived what could have very well been death or bodily injury by a group beatdown. The defense also made a motion to exclude photo and video evidence, which was denied by Judge Faulkner. The jury also saw security footage of the Belton High School hallways showing the students entering the bathroom and running out. This included video of Ramirez running out with a trail of blood behind him and eventually collapsing. Several witnesses took the stand today, including 911 dispatcher Amy Retz, security officer Philip Douglas Taylor, and teachers who responded to the scene. You can read more about the witnesses' testimony at kcentv.com. The trial is expected to continue tomorrow with more witnesses called to testify. I'll have more updates for you then. Live in Belton, Sydney Walker, 6 News.
All right, thanks for the update, Sydney.
So they said there's video proof of it happening. Now, are they saying he was about to get jumped? On May 3rd, 2022, an altercation broke out between Kason, the man accused of the deletion, and Joe Ramirez in a bathroom at the school shortly before 10 a.m. Police say after the stabbing occurred, Allison was 18 at the time, left the school and campus, and was placed on lockdown as a precaution. So this happened during the pandemic. Well, Texas was open. Texas and Florida, they didn't really care about the pandemic. They were just wilding out. That's why they had some of the highest spikes. Allison was later taken into custody off campus shortly after 10 a.m., while Ramirez was taken to a local hospital in an effort to save his life. But he was unable to recover and later passed. Students were sent home for the rest of the day after the incident occurred. Belton High School student. In the days following the stabbing, the community mourned the loss of Ramirez, while a murder charge and a $1 million bond was set for Allison. New details emerged. According to an arrest affidavit a few days later after the incident, police were able to obtain video that showed Allison stab Ramirez during a fight in the bathroom where the incident occurred. A folding knife was also found at Allison's home, and Allison's home covered in what police suspected was blood. Allison told the police that not only he stabbed Ramirez once, but when authorities examined Ramirez's body at the hospital, he was noted to have been stabbed in the chest, back, legs, and arms. In days after the arrest, Allison's bond was changed twice. Once when he was charged with assaulting a family member on May 9th, 2022. So what is this, 7 days later or 6 days later? Yeah, 6 days later, he charged with assaulting a family member. 6 days later, would add $15,000 to his total bond amount. And a second time after he was indicted of murder on June 9th, so a whole month later after he assaulted the family, when his bond was reduced from $1 million to $175,000. Now, the thing is, you didn't hear no white folk getting online in Texas and saying that this white boy is a murderer. His family needs to move. $175,000 bond ain't enough. You see the difference between these stories? The black family was, oh, they gotta move. They gotta get out of here. $175,000. You see how it works? But this is Texas, so nothing less is expected. Allison later bonded out of the Bell County Jail, but was required to wear an ankle monitor as conditions for being released from jail, while legal proceedings took place and an eventual trial date was decided on. On December 13, 2023, a trial date was set for May of 2024, but it was delayed multiple times throughout the year. A trial date was selected for the jury began. So last week they had a trial with a selected jury began on Monday, April 14th, and is expected to conclude by the 25th, which is what, Friday? So by this Friday, they should have a verdict. Well, not have a verdict, but the trial should be over. Let me see. So is there videos 3 days ago? Let's see. Well, this is 4 days ago. This is from last week. Was it Friday, Thursday, Friday?
Today you and tomorrow you aren't the same person. If you're tired of what Today You is doing, get an accounting fundamentals certificate from WGU School of Business and get a whole new Tomorrow You in just 6 months.
Man, ain't nobody trying to be no accountant.
Enroll today at WGU.
We want to go back to the case in Allison trial. We just got word that the video is in from our reporter, Sydney Walker, and she has more details tonight.
Lindsay and Bailey, it's becoming clearer and clearer what happened on that May 3rd day in the bathroom at Belton High. But we're also getting more details about what happened at a prom after party just the weekend before the incident. Some key things to note from today. We heard from a friend of Ramirez, his brother, and a student who just happened to be in the bathroom. We're also learning more about a verbal altercation between Allison and Ramirez at a prom after party. Ramirez's brother testified that Allison had been acting aggressive toward his prom date, and Ramirez stepped in to defend his brother. What followed was the creation.
Whoa, what? Oh, well, wait a minute. So Ramirez had a brother, and he stepped in because Allison was aggressive towards. So Allison was aggressive toward Ramirez's brother's date, or Ramirez's brother was Allison's date, and he was aggressive towards Ramirez's brother. Hold on, let me. So the stabbing was 3 days after prom, but
At a prom after party. Ramirez's brother testified that Allison had been acting aggressive toward his prom date, and Ramirez stepped in to defend his brother. What followed was the creation of a Snapchat group where Allison proposed that he and Ramirez fight in the woods near West Temple Park. The first teen who
So Allison had a prom date. He was acting aggressive towards his prom date. Ramirez's brother, he stepped in to protect. And then they got on Snapchat and said, let's fight. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to, I gotta read that. I can't, listening to her, I can't figure out what, if he's aggressive to his date, why would my brother step in to protect me if I ain't got nothing to do with him and his date? Yeah, I gotta read that. I can't, listening to this got me confused. I don't know what the hell's going on. Allison was the aggressor to Ramirez's brother's prom date. They should have said Allison was aggressive to Ramirez's brother's prom date instead of to the.
Who had already been questioned by the state yesterday, faced cross-examination today. The defense asked him to put himself in Allison's shoes and if he himself would have waited, quote, for the second punch. The state redirected by asking him to identify who had the knife in the video and if he would have stabbed someone in a fist fight. Another student who was in the bathroom simply by chance revealed that Belton High students caught in fights were fined $300 tickets. He also confirmed that the bathroom doors can be locked from both the outside and inside, but it is still unknown if the door was locked during the fight. During Ramirez's brother's testimony, there were multiple calls for a mistrial by the defense following a series of objections. The trial ended at about 12:30 today due to some scheduling issues, and Joe Ramirez's brother was the last on the stand, so we'll hear more from him tomorrow, along with some others, when the trial resumes at 9 a.m. tomorrow. In Belton, Sydney Walker, 6 News.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds guilty to me. I don't want to. 6 days ago, so that's the most recent. Well, they're in court today, so we won't be able to get an update until later on today to see what actually happened. Is this a state case? Fourth days on Friday, another proceeding centered around the involvement of statin in his punctured his lung. Medical examiner reveals photos. Well, I don't really want to see any photos. 2 more witnesses were sworn in Thursday morning, and a spectator in the gallery was removed from court after yelling at Casey Allison's attorney. The friend who was in the bathroom with Allison during the fight, Chris Biddle, and the medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Ramirez testified today. Now, Chris Biddle must be 18 because normally they wouldn't put their names in here if they were minors. First cross-examination resumed on Ramirez's stepbrother, Josh Rios. The defense asked Rios about getting to school that morning on May 3rd. Rios told the court that he was brought to school by a friend. Security footage from the parking lot to Belton High on that day was shown to the jury, where they saw Rios arriving to school in the driver's seat of a car. So Rios is lying. The defense asked Rios about getting to school on the morning of May 3rd. Rios told the court that he was brought to school by a friend, but the security footage from the parking lot of Belton High on that day shows the jury where they saw Rios arriving to school in the driver's seat of a car. Rios said Ramirez told him that he had a fight with Allison in the parking lot that morning. However, the footage doesn't show a fight happen. It shows Allison walking past Rios' car and then walking to the entrance of the school. During questioning, there was a misunderstanding between the defense and witnesses after a mumbled response from the witness was translated incorrectly by the defense. This led to an outburst in the gallery where a man near the back of the courtroom yelled, trying to correct the attorney. Immediately, the man stood up and said, "I'll step out. This man's ignorant," talking about Allison's attorney. The defense tried to submit evidence of a photo posted to Snapchat showing a mugshot of Ramirez after he had been arrested for assault. The judge ruled the evidence not relevant. Since the photo couldn't be revealed, the defense asked Rios if he knew Ramirez had been arrested for assault and why. Rios testified that he knew Ramirez had been arrested and that Ramirez got into a fight when he was 18 with someone who was 17. So Ramirez, the brother, RIP, he was 18 in high school. When asked to recall those moments in the bathroom, the defense asked Rios, "You can't say Kaysen had no reason to be afraid." To which Rios replied, "I do not believe he was afraid. He could have left the bathroom when he saw us if he was afraid." Rios doubled down on his testimony from yesterday, saying they weren't in the bathroom to fight. It was a pit stop they made some days between classes. Now, they're saying that it was a pit stop that was made, but you just told us Ramirez told you in the parking lot that he got into a fight. So now you just happen to make a pit stop in the same bathroom that Allison is in because Allison walked past you according to the security footage. So these Rios and Ramirez brothers, we might have to look into them a little bit. All right, let's keep following this and see what's going down. The defense came back with, "You didn't try to stop Joe when the fight started?" Rios replied, "No, sir." After lunch, the state brought in Dr. Grant Hendon from the Dallas County Forensic Science Office, where photos of Ramirez's wounds were revealed. The photos showed 4 stab wounds. These images had all of Ramirez's family in tears and covering their eyes. The first wound described was the one that eventually took out Ramirez. The knife caused damage to Ramirez's left lung, heart, and injury to his arteries, which is responsible for the blood flow. So you got to apply that pressure to it, try to stop the bleeding. The second wound was also in the area of the lungs. Now that's going to be tough. Now you can live without one lung, but you have to be on like support. So the third wound shown were actually 2 wounds connected, meaning the tip of the knife entered in one place and exited in a different place. This wound was on Ramirez's buttocks. The 4th stab wound was on the back of Ramirez's left forearm. So he got hit in the chest, the coronary arteries, the lung, the heart, the buttocks, in the right, where's the other one? Oh, in the left forearm. How do you get stabbed in the buttocks? However, the order in which these wounds were attained can't be confirmed through this report. The defense questioning that also doesn't determine who was the aggressor, Dr. Hendon agreed. Biddle sworn before the end of the day Thursday, the court will be closed for Good Friday. The trial will resume on Monday. Cross-examination of Biddle will continue. Texts between Allison and Biddle are expected to be revealed after being admitted into evidence after the jury was dismissed on Thursday. So 4 stabbings. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. I mean, I don't. So it happened at prom. 3 days later, the stabbing happened. Ramirez got arrested for assault. He got stabbed 4 times. Rios said that Ramirez told him that there was going to be a fight. There was a Snapchat that said they needed to fight in the woods. All right, and let me see what this last part here. He did not want to fight. 2 students who witnessed a deadly fight between a Belton High School restroom testified Case and Allison did not want to fight Joe Ramirez that fateful day. He didn't want to fight. Students who witnessed the deadly stabbing testified Casey Allison did not want to fight Joe Ramirez. Witness: Ramirez liked to fight and wanted his fights recorded. Shit, it sounds like Ramirez may have been the aggressor because he did step in to quote unquote protect his brother. We don't know who sent what in the Snapchat. They said that there was a photo of Ramirez's mugshot. So unless Ramirez probably put that in the chat saying, "Yeah, I'm really like that," I don't know. Maybe Case and Allison is innocent. Now, can you have a knife on campus? If they can prove that he was in fear, we'll see. But he didn't want to fight. That's what two former Belton High School students said about Casey Allison that testified. Allison, accused of stabbing and killing Joe Ramirez during a fight inside the bathroom in 2022, is on trial in the 146th district of Belton, Texas. The witness testified on April 15th, included 3 former students who either witnessed the fight or had a friendship with Allison Ramirez or both. 2 of them, Tito Shamel and Angel Murillo, were in the restroom the day the fight broke out. Shamel told the court he was good friends with Ramirez and witnessed the chaos unfold in the bathroom between Allison and Ramirez. Shamel also explained he recorded a portion of the altercation on video. Footage shown to the jurors in court on Tuesday. Someone explained to us what was in the damn footage, though. Also, a friend of Allison and an acquaintance of Ramirez, Rena Barber, took the stand and testified she tried to calm down Ramirez moments before the fight started. So she had to try to calm him down before he went into the bathroom. And everyone else is saying that Kaysen didn't want to fight. Belton Police Department Detective Joshua Tolish said he took the stand and testified about photos he took at the crime scene. The photos showed the jurors follow the trail of blood droplets around parts of the school leading to a pool of blood where Ramirez collapsed. Tolish told jurors he also interviewed a witness who provided a statement and video of the fight that started in the restroom. Jurors on Tuesday once again watched security camera footage from the school hallway where you could see Ramirez and a group of his friends entered the restroom. Allison walks into the restroom with a friend moments later, and then everyone runs out. But then again, see, we just don't know. We got to see this footage. Who was the aggressor? Maybe they agreed to fight. Maybe Allison was a little scared and went in with a knife. Or Ramirez went in there with his whole crew and they started jumping him and he had to pull the knife out. Now, was he supposed to have a knife on campus? No. But if he didn't have the knife, if they did jump him, could his life have been in jeopardy? Yeah, so it's like a catch-22. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Rather be caught with it than without it. I mean, all right. So jurors then watched the short video clip Shamel recorded on his phone. Shamel explained that what he caught on the video shows Ramirez taking the first. Oh, see, Ramirez was the aggressor. The video shows Ramirez taking the first swing at Allison. And then you see Allison pull out the knife before a loud scream is heard and the video cuts off. Well, you can't just swing on people. Barbara testified Allison did not want to fight and that he told her he just wanted to get to graduation. Shamel also testified that in the moment it appeared like Allison did not want to fight. Barbara explained to the court that Ramirez and his friends were known to fight. Shamel further testified Ramirez liked having his fights recorded, and although the fight with Allison was planned, no one expected it to happen on school grounds. So Ramirez swung on him, and Allison didn't even let it. No, we didn't even let it get nowhere else. You swing, Allison said he was going to finish it. So I guess the girl, Barbara, was in the bathroom also. But she said she tried to calm down Ramirez before he even went into the bathroom. Barbara said it wasn't normal for Allison to have a knife, but she knew he had one because Allison told her he got one for protection. So Allison already knew, man, I'm into it with these Negroes. I got to keep me a knife. Now, these aren't Negroes, these are Hispanics. But witnesses also described a verbal altercation between Ramirez and Allison at prom after party, which was prompted by an argument over a girl. Now, what I want to know is, what did Allison really say to the girl? We need to get the girl in, see what they actually said there. Because maybe Ramirez was just a hothead and didn't want him talking to his brother's girl. Shamel told the court records that Ramirez looked surprised to see Allison in the bathroom that day, and you could feel the tension between the two. Barbara is seen talking to Ramirez on hallway footage. Visibly upset, she started to cry as she explained to the court that she was trying to tell Ramirez that the fight isn't worth it because they were both about to graduate. Testimony will continue on Wednesday. Josh Grimes, another friend of Ramirez, who was also in the bathroom when the fight started, will face cross-examination. So it sounds like Allison went in there, you swung on him, and that's where we at. I mean, interesting. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see this. I might follow this up. We'll see where this goes. We'll definitely see where this goes. But it sounds like Ramirez was the aggressor, and sometimes decisions we make as kids, they don't go according to plan. And unfortunately, someone got stabbed here, and everyone ran out. So we'll see where this goes. But that's Case and Allison. They should be finished by the 25th of this week. Well, we'll see what they do if I remember to even look up this case or not, because I didn't know nothing about it until about 15, 20 minutes ago. It happened in 2022, and here we are. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm about to be on the Mo You Know. Well, we on the Mo You Know now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm about to be on Mo.J. We got Monday Mistakes for Power episode 7. We'll be over there. Well, this isn't seen as self-defense. This is a murder charge. They just pleading they're just going for self-defense. It's still classified as a murder. So it's the same thing. It's just the defense, they're saying that this is self-defense. You know what I mean? So it's the same exact thing. We're gonna see how they play out. What's the difference between the two? Now, in Allison's case, he had multiple witnesses saying what happened. Karmelo, they said he was grabbed, but I don't think grabbing somebody, I mean, it does. You do have the right to defend yourself if someone grabs you. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, whatever happens here, they'll probably be looking at it and they'll probably make a reference to this case. If he can get self-defense, then that'll look good for Karmelo. You know, they're gonna be like, hey, we just had the case in Allison. Now, Carmelo's case isn't gonna go to trial for a while. This probably won't be until like next year, unless they get a speedy trial and they say they want it before the end of the year. But other than that, we'll see where this goes, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join the Discord, it's pinned in the chat. Support the channel, Cash App's pinned in the chat. I had to get another pin for this channel. So if you had a membership, it should be back. I'm just waiting on them to mail me the pin, so I can go ahead and put that in. So this channel will be back monetized and we can have the memberships going. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on Mo.J. We got Monday Mistakes, episode 7. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Mo You Know.
You can